everybody. Welcome back to the Off the Rip podcast, episode number 11. I'm your co-host, Tucker Hall.
And I'm your co-host, Bailey Berry.
And as you can see over here, we have a good friend of ours. This is Cody Helton.
What's up?
Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Sweet.
Cody, I've known Cody for a while. We actually worked at Dunham Sports together for a while. He was my assistant manager. We were kicking it in the shoe section all the time.
Hiding our phones in the closet watching football.
College football, March Madness, whatever is on. We were in the back of the shoe room doing that. Cody is actually a member of our Kingsport's finest police department.
It's a fact.
Yeah. How long have you been a cop now?
4 years.
4 years?
Wow.
4 years now. Yeah, 4 years in August.
Yeah, because I think I remember you leaving Dunham's to go take
Well, I actually
that job,
left
right?
Dunham's to go to probation.
Oh,
So
that's
I left
right,
Dunham's
that's right.
in March, went to probation, and then I started the hiring process with probation and the police department at the same time. But probation hired me on the spot, so I started in like 3 days, and then obviously the police department takes like months because of the background checks and everything.
Okay. For the ignorant viewer, what exactly is probation?
So probation and parole. So I actually did misdemeanor probation. So you've got state of Tennessee probation, which is felony probation.
Okay.
So obviously that's for like your felony stuff. And then misdemeanor, your simple possessions, DUIs, your, like I said, misdemeanor charges that you get probation for.
Okay.
Those usually run what they say 1129, which is 11 months and 29 days. Or you can do 629, which is 6 months, 29 days.
Yeah.
So 529, because it's 6 months in a year.
Okay.
And so some of those can run consecutive. You can have like 7 to 10 years of probation.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a good gig. I mean, it was Monday through Friday. It was a lot though, because I mean, you could have. I think max that we would have is like 250 people on a caseload. So you would have. So obviously they would have to come to their probation meeting each month.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd see 200 to 250 people a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dang.
And it's honestly, sadly enough, it's not really that surprising in this area.
Yeah.
I feel like for Kingsport in years past to now, I feel like the crime rate has definitely risen.
Oh, it has.
Is that a true
Just
fact?
in my 4 years of being here,
Yeah.
from year one to now. So to put it in perspective, so I started in 2019, and then I got on my own in 2020. So I started August of 2019, and then March of 2020 is when I got on my own. That's counting like the academy, my field training, and so March of 2020. From March of 2020 till December of 2020, myself, I answered 997 calls.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, I mean, we're averaging. So on reports written, we're at like, I think the last number I heard was like 15,000, and that's not counting calls that we basically there's nothing to do for.
Yeah.
So sometimes we might have to go to an aggressive animal call that when we get there the animal's gone, or suspicious vehicle, we get there the car's gone. So stuff like that we don't write reports for.
Yeah.
So I mean you're probably anywhere between 30 to 45,000 calls a year.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is
Yeah.
insane.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I feel that too, though. I feel like, because the Kingsport's always been a very chilled out, nice, raise your family type of town. Like, really not much going on.
Right.
And now I'm starting to feel like, I feel the need to, carry a firearm with me if I go to Walmart now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And or if I go to the movie theater or something. That's also kind of, I guess, like the fear from like some of the crazy shit that's happened in the nation, not just here. But yeah, it is kind of crazy how close to home this is starting to hit.
Yeah. And that also may be like, I feel maybe just growing up too. And like
Maybe,
having more to protect, you know what I mean? Like you have a fiance, I have a wife, and my mindset has definitely changed in the way that I view other people. You know what I mean? As a kid, you're safe, you're with your dad, it's blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, okay, I'm me. I protect those around me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe like mindset has changed a little bit too. You know what I mean?
Well, you lose a little bit of innocence too, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you say that too, because like, so my wife works at Eastman.
Okay.
And when when she got the job and we were moving to Kingsport, we were like, oh man, this is where old people come to retire.
Yeah.
You know, like Eastman, we thought of it as Mayberry.
Yeah.
And then I get into law enforcement, and I'm like, holy cow, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
You know, you don't realize how much actually goes on in a town until you're actually involved in it. So
especially being on the front line and
Exactly.
in law enforcement.
Yeah.
Like, because we're kind of shielded to that unless we just roll up on something by happenstance.
Right.
Yeah.
But like police are the front line. Like something's going down, you all are there. It's your call.
Yeah.
You got to go out and do your job, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess kind of going back a little bit to that, what he was saying about having like, you know, more to protect and everything now. So since I've known you, which you've always been married to Megan, and then
well,
now,
not always.
Well,
I was a child once.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant. So yes, since I've known you, you've always been with Megan, and now was it a year ago, year and a half? You all had your daughter.
Congratulations.
She will be 2 in October.
Oh,
wow.
So 2 years.
Yes.
2 years. Okay, yeah. So 2 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you know, with you being a dad now, you'd always been a husband. Well, since I've known you, you've been a husband. What has it like really changed for you? Like stepping into law enforcement and like, you know how that I guess that saying always goes, where like you just want to make it home at night.
Oh, dude. So I know what you're saying. So complete game changer. So before I had my daughter, I was balls to the wall. Like traffic stops, like I wouldn't care to go clear a house. Which after I had her, I still didn't. But it's like a completely different mindset as far as officer safety goes.
Yeah.
So before her, I was always very officer safety minded. So I would, you know, cross all my T's, dot my I's when approaching things. After I had her approaching things, you uppercase and lowercase the whole alphabet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't predict what's going to happen, but you be prepared for what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So my favorite, I don't know if anybody's ever said this before, but once I became a field training officer, the best way I explained it to my people that I was training, the new officers coming in, was I want to make you comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So if you can be comfortable with being uncomfortable, then most things you're gonna be unfazed by. And that was my huge thing, is because I had never worked law enforcement before, so first time I get into it, I didn't know any better. So there's a difference between like scared fear and healthy fear. So there is a healthy fear. Healthy fear keeps you alive.
Yeah.
Because with that healthy fear, you go through scenarios of what may happen, what could happen, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, once she was born, I guess you could say it heightened my sense of fear. Because I approached things completely differently, because no matter the circumstance, I was going home that night. Beforehand, it was, I'm going home, but, you know, cowabunga it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, it's... I think it was probably better for me, because it slowed me down some.
Yeah.
It made me think more.
Yeah. And I'd say, too, with that, like what you're talking about, that healthy fear, that is kind of that adrenaline that kind of almost is like an enhancement.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It just makes you that much more aware of your surroundings and, like you're saying, uppercase and lowercase everything, the entire alphabet.
Yeah.
That was one thing to me that's, I feel like with the stuff that's happened in the past few years with law enforcement and civilians, and kind of the bad taste some people have got in their mouth with police officers, it's always crazy to me, just because like every police officer I've ever met, I've ever dealt with, you know, has never really treated me wrong.
Right.
They may have been a little like aggressive, but the situation I was in kind of called for that.
Right.
You know, so I had no problem with that.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, regular traffic stops and stuff, I'm not gonna be an asshole to you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as nice as possible, because one, you're an authority.
Yeah.
And two, if I'm nice to you, I might not get a ticket.
Yeah.
So the other way is, if I'm a dick to you, I'm obviously gonna get a ticket. Probably no matter what.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was one of my like main questions, especially since you had a daughter. I was like, yeah, that's definitely got to put it into a totally different.
Oh yeah, and it was wild too because there were certain there were some calls involving kids, that didn't hit at home as much.
Yeah.
And now that I have a daughter, like it's crazy the mindset that it has changed in me as far as like how I perceive certain calls now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was very sympathetic going to these calls with kids, but now when you put it in perspective that it could be your kid, you're just like, holy cow, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a whole new level of composure you got to keep.
I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will say, dude, having a daughter, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Or even a kid in general.
Yeah,
having a kid in general, 10 out of 10. Tired all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
But
sure.
outside of that, dude, it's the biggest blessing ever.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, she's adorable, dude.
Yeah.
The videos that you post and like send to me and stuff, I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me want to be.
Oh yeah,
dad.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, dude. She'll give you baby fever quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, I've showed a video to Hannah, and it's definitely just like she's sitting there and she's just like, can we have one?
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
Now I will before I take my drink, I will say, how long you been married?
2 months.
2 months.
2 months
Congrats.
yesterday.
And yours is coming up in less than a year.
yeah,
So my biggest advice will be enjoy each other first.
Mm-hmm.
Travel. Do what you all want to do, because you're 26 now.
yeah. I turned 26 this year.
So you turned 26 this year. How old are you?
I turned 26 14 days after him.
Okay, so y'all are about to turn 26, or maybe you are 26 already.
25.
So
25,
okay,
about
so,
to
okay,
be.
so you're about to turn 26.
Yeah,
Okay, so we got married when we were 25.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we did 3 years of marriage. We traveled. I mean, we've been to Vegas, New York, Washington, Portland. We took our honeymoon. We took a cruise to Mexico. So I mean, like I said, the biggest thing is just enjoying each other.
Yeah.
Spend that time together, and then when you're ready, have the baby.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, me and Hannah have said the same thing. Is we definitely want to experience our 20s while we're free and don't have
absolutely.
a mortgage and bill
Yeah.
more bills than we can even think about, and a kid as
Yeah.
well that
Yeah.
after that you're responsible for their entire life.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Which luckily we've got her parents, my parents too. They're they'll keep her whenever we want them to.
Yeah.
And she's to the age now to where we can leave her over the weekend because
Yeah.
obviously she's not needing milk.
Mhm.
So at this point now we can just leave her at either one of our parents' house and it's fine.
Yeah.
So we don't do it as much because we don't want to miss out on time with her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's like we can drop her off and go do what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it just, on the flip side of that, it sucks because her parents are both of our parents are an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's not like we want a date night.
You can.
We just drop her off, and our only family member here is our daily babysitter. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't want to overbear it and be like, hey, keep her for another 8 hours while we go on a date or something.
Yeah.
So, pros and cons, but I mean, she's always along for the ride, so she hangs out with us too.
That's
so
awesome.
it's a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing about you dropping your kid off to your parents and whatnot and going on trips and stuff, I saw here a little bit recently, you and Megan went to a metal show.
Her first one.
Yeah, and I know because me and you kind of bond over that because Hannah can't stand my music, and I know Megan can't either.
Yeah. So
which is crazy to me that she actually went to that concert.
So, granted, we'll it's post-hardcore.
Yeah.
So it was Bad Omens.
Yes, they have a little bit of the.
He does the clean vocals.
Yeah.
But he screams. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because the first two bands, I don't know if you've heard of Invent Animate.
I have not heard of them.
So they're like a technical metal band. They got clean vocals. Every band there did clean vocals.
Okay, yeah.
So that one was, I love Bad Omens. That was my
Yeah.
second time seeing them. First show I saw them was with A Day to Remember.
Mm.
So the lineup went Bad Omens, Beartooth, and then A Day to Remember.
Oh yeah.
I had listened, so at that point for me, the Death of Peace of Mind album had just came out. So I'd listen to like The Death of Peace of Mind, Artificial Suicide, and like one or two more songs, but those were the only two songs that I really knew. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was still pretty lit. And then obviously Beartooth was fine. I don't know if you've listened to Beartooth.
I've heard of Beartooth, but I don't know.
Yeah. So they got a couple of songs that come on like 95.9.
Oh, okay.
So Beartooth was cool. They were just really loud.
Yeah.
They were really loud. But A Day to Remember, amazing.
Yeah.
Like what you hear on the album is what you get in the show. And then the last show we went to, there was one band called Car. It's this chick, a drummer, and a guitarist. They're a 3-person band out of like California, I think.
I didn't know where he was going with that when he said chicken. I was like, whoa, they got a chicken.
I know.
I was like, this sounds crazy.
I said it, and I was like, that don't make sense, but whatever, we'll roll with it. And then the other band was Something and the Serpent. Never heard of them before.
Yeah.
The Snapchat I sent you of the bony chick on stage that I said that I think I've arrested her before.
Yes.
It was her. Okay, so that band. Yeah. And then it was Bring Me the Horizon, which I was freaking like.
Bring Me the Horizon is amazing.
I was on cloud 9. And then the closing band was Fall Out Boy.
Wow. Ooh. Interesting.
Was not a fan.
Really?
Fall Out Boy live. So they played, obviously, the 5 or 6 songs that everybody loves. Mm-hmm. So I was on cloud 9.
Yeah.
But Fall Out Boy is like Weezer, and they've been making music since we were all in diapers, I think.
Yeah.
So there were a ton of songs that they played that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it was fine, but like they had fireworks in their show. So like on the back of the stage, it would like actually like not like huge fireworks, but like the stage pyro stuff. And then like after the first song, you were deaf.
Yeah.
So at that point, it was just like, honestly, it sounded like you were in a fishbowl the whole time. Yeah, but like, I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I thought it was dope that Megan had went, because when I saw that picture of you guys at that concert, I remember leaning over to Hannah and be like, "See, she can do it."
Yeah. Now, look, for real,
I've never been to a metal concert, and me and you kind of bonded over metal whenever we were at Dunham's, because there'd be times where we're closing the store and it's like me, you, and like one other dude, and you just turn the PA on and we're playing metal music.
Wow.
But like me and Cody bond over like death metal music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Lorna Shore type stuff.
Yes.
Like the hard stuff that people are like, "What's wrong with you?" type music.
Yeah. So you like Slipknot too then?
I mean, I like old Slipknot.
Okay.
But when people are like, "Oh, you like metal?" and they're like, "Yeah, Metallica." I'm like, not really, but no, I like Left to Suffer, Lorna Shore. If I pulled up my music, I could go through them.
Yeah.
When you put me on the spot, I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
But no, I really like death metal is my go-to. I don't get to listen to it as much now where I'm not on the road anymore. Because used to, you turn on the death metal playlist and that's what I work to every day.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine. I mean, I still I got my chill playlist.
Yeah, of course.
Tyler Childers and like Zach Bryan. Got tickets for that, by the way.
Wow.
So
for
Zach Bryan.
Oh, really?
Next year. Yeah.
I saw Zach Bryan last year at Bonnaroo, and that was one of the best shows.
At Bonnaroo. I'm pumped.
But that entire show.
Next month, October 7th, I'm going to see Fit for a King, The Devil Wears Prada, Counterparts, and Landmarks.
Is that in Nashville?
Charlotte.
Oh, it's in Charlotte?
It'll be in Charlotte.
I think those 4 are also playing a show in Nashville.
They are.
Because they're playing at some like, it's some like 2-level bar. And the stage is like in the dead center of the bar.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was looking for metal shows to go to.
But that one wasn't bad. Those tickets were $27, and then after they add all the fees, it ended up being like $42 a ticket.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. No,
especially after fees.
Yeah.
Fees are nuts.
Yeah, but my favorite show I've been to so far, it was my Elder Emo Heart. Made me happy. It was started with a band named This Wild Life. I'd never heard of them before, but I've listened to them. Absolutely love them. And then after them, it was Story of the Year. And then Mayday Parade, which I caught a drumstick from. So I got a drumstick,
That's cool.
And then, I don't know, Yellow Card.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Yellow Card.
Bro, that's
Yes.
the Madden 08
Yes.
soundtrack right there.
Yeah. So, and dude, I was on freaking cloud 9 for Yellow Card.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So most of my bands that I've ever wanted to see, I've gotten to see now. The only band that I'm super bummed that I've never gotten to see was Linkin Park.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Like originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can play Chester's voice over the song, but it's just not the same.
Not
But the
the same.
dude that does it sounds good.
He does.
You know?
He does. And
But, yeah, I agree.
Linkin Park actually had a concert. It might not have been too recently, but it was like either right after COVID or maybe a year ago. It was at Red Rocks, I think, and the entire crowd was singing Chester's part.
Jeez.
And it was like the
Cheers.
guys, the guys
Cheers,
on the
yeah.
the guys on the stage were just basically just like quit. Like obviously the drummer and the guitar was going,
Yeah.
but like the guy that raps, he's sitting there and he's just holding the mic out, just letting this crowd sing.
Yeah.
It was the song Nothing Else Matters, or no, that's Metallica.
Shut your mouth.
I know, sorry.
Yeah, shut your mouth. In the end.
In the end, yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
sorry, yes, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you were singing. You just thought of the lyrics to the song.
Yeah, I was
it's
thinking
fine.
of the
Yeah,
lyrics,
It's
but
fine.
I offended him.
It's fine. You get one.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess off of that tangent, we can kind of get back into the cop stuff because I know we both have a lot of questions on the cop stuff.
yeah.
Especially like sitting down with one, talking, being able to ask questions that you can't really ask while they're in
Yeah.
uniform and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to rip off a couple?
Well, mine was so. I guess I've heard from multiple people. You've heard about it on the news about how, and maybe it's just like whatever. Maybe the people are speaking out of ignorance, but I don't know. But you hear that they say this region's like the worst region for meth. How I didn't know how true that is. What the meth problem is in this area.
I mean, it's unfortunately. I mean, it's overall it's everywhere.
Yeah.
This region is pretty bad. Unfortunately, I would say out of a majority of our arrests, when it's drug related, it's meth. Just
Really?
because it after COVID, it just seemed like it was so obtainable.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's everywhere. But I mean, what you run into is we are surrounded by so many states that touch.
That's true.
That touch this region.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Virginia, North Carolina,
Exactly.
Kentucky,
Yeah.
like all of those, and there's probably more that I'm not even thinking of, but all of those touch us
Yeah.
in this region, especially those three.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, you've got multiple, and really kind of Georgia. I mean, you can hit Georgia from here in 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, it's an unfortunate thing, but I mean, it's not just meth. I mean, it's really everything around here. It's sad just because I mean, most of the people you see around here, you can tell who uses and who don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go down Center Street, and I call it the Walking Dead, just because
Yeah.
it's just sad to see.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kingsport's did awesome. We've hired a social worker, a liaison for the department to help with their homeless issue, try to get them the help that they need and stuff. So that's been a huge asset to us to be able to get her to basically help our homeless, help our drug addicts, help the ones who actually want help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ones who want help have actually been reaching out to her,
Oh,
and
wow.
she's gotten a few of them like reconnected with their family
That's
that
awesome.
they thought that they had burnt bridges with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
that
been
is
huge.
awesome.
But
That is.
I mean, like I said though, unfortunately in this region, it's just unfortunately no matter where you go now, it's a problem everywhere.
Mhm.
So, are you seeing more meth users or meth like dealers in, like I guess like cook spots and labs and stuff?
No, so labs aren't really a thing anymore.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Just because I think the science of it, I don't know personally because I've not looked too much into it, but I know around here we don't run into it as much.
Yeah.
But I just think the science has came so far from it. You don't
Mhm.
really need labs anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's more users than it is like dealers and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Meth is a tough one, dude. It's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you got meth and everything, but like I feel like that's a huge problem along with the fentanyl problem we're seeing now. And like, I guess my question on that would be like how much, along the same lines of just like how bad is that really? Because you hear about it all the time, but like, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely obviously never gonna see it because I don't touch that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like I hear that all the time. You know, fentanyl overdose.
Yeah.
And like I just don't know. You being on the front lines, like, are you seeing that a lot more per case or? Depends.
Really? Yeah, I mean it's kind of hit and miss. I mean you see it and then you don't see it for a while and then you see it again. So I mean it's around. It's more of a. To me, it seems like it's made its way up as a harder to get than what meth is. So I guess it's like you could say it's the rich man's drug, kind of, you know. But it really, honestly, people have their drug of choice. Some people, I mean, they like meth, but they don't like heroin or fentanyl. You know what I mean? So it really, I mean, it really depends on what you want.
Yeah. So I'd say is meth kind of our like number one like biggest.
I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is going to be a good one. I think this will spark a pretty good conversation. What are some of, if not one of, the craziest calls that you have ever been on that you can talk about?
Yeah. That one's kind of hard. I feel like everything I do is crazy.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Fair statement.
I can't really go into details about stuff just because the cases are public files.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if I talk about it and then someone was to go and do a records request and then they can put two and two together and know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I can say on as far as crazy goes, I would say the craziest thing and scariest thing we do is probably traffic stops, just because there's so much unknown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you pull this car over, until you get up on the car, you can't see their hands.
Yeah.
So you don't know where they're reaching, what they have. So to me, I mean that's probably the scariest thing that we deal with, but it's also probably the funnest thing we do too.
Oh yeah.
Just because. The unknown.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that I've had that I have seen in cars. Well, people like to carry around their personal pleasure devices.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah. So in the front seat of a car, you see a dildo and a Bible.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's just what it is. You ask them about it, and they're like, I don't have an answer. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
They're just
myself.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that we have found in cars it's actually hilarious. I can show y'all a picture later that I've got saved of a buddy of mine that pulled a car over. It's like him holding a book that's like the sciences of meth. That was like in the front seat. It was like in the front seat of the car. Yeah, it's just silly.
Yeah.
It's just silly things that are in people's cars.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. So, in this area, do you all use coroners? And I don't know if you can talk about that, but like a case, if you have to deal with a dead body, which I don't know if you've had to, but do you all work with coroners?
Yeah. So I'll go into detail a little bit.
Okay.
So funny enough that you say that too, because my nickname was the Angel of Death.
Oh my
because
gosh.
In my 55 days of training, I had 24 DOAs.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So.
Holy cow.
My mental health got bad for a little bit.
I'm sure.
Got bad for a little bit.
Oh my
but
gosh.
it was fine. We made dark humor is how we get through a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So there was a lot of jokes made about it, which is why I got called the Angel of Death. Yeah. But it's fine. I'm here. We're thriving.
Hey.
We're good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, I mean, but we respond. We respond to every DOA, and then obviously we investigate it till what we think has happened, and then we call the coroner, and the coroner comes.
So do they pretty much take over from that point to help identify what the cause of death was? No.
No. So we do all of that.
Really?
Yeah. We identify. We've got like a 10-page 10-page packet that we've got to fill out every time.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, that's a pretty good segue into my next question is how do you deal with the stresses of your job? Because your job is beyond stressful in my imagination. Like, there's no way in hell I could ever be a cop just based off of the unknown of traffic stops, dealing with the public that is, either A, high on meth, or B, you don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're just acting crazy, you don't know what they got. Like, I couldn't deal with all that.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if I could see a dead body that's not in a casket.
I don't know if
you know
I
what
could
I mean?
either. Roll up on somebody that,
exactly.
Yeah.
Anything.
How do you deal with the stresses of that?
Well, video games. That's a good stress reliever.
Yeah.
And I mean the guys at work, they all deal with it too.
Mm-hmm.
So dark humor.
Yeah.
Just talking to your boys.
Mm-hmm.
That helps tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
And Megan has been a tremendous support too, because she has been able to pick up on when I had a rough day.
Mm-hmm.
So she asks about what happened at work, but she also knows that I don't tell her everything that happened at work, and she doesn't dig.
Yeah.
She takes what I give her, we talk about it, and then we go about our day.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that too, though, I feel like I'm really good at not taking it home with me.
Yeah.
Just because for the most part, I mean, you go to work, you do your job, and there's not really a lot that you got to bring home with you because you handle your call and you're done with it.
Yeah.
No matter if you get someone pisses you off or something goes wrong, and if it's not detrimental, like it stays, like you deal with it and you're good. So for the most part, I mean there is some really crappy stuff that I have saw, unfortunately, but on top of that, I mean there's a lot of ways to deal with it, I feel like. But it also goes on how willing are you to deal with that, because you got to be able to talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, you're just going to bottle it up and it's just going to keep building up.
Yeah, I'd say some of that stuff is very difficult to compartmentalize.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, it was, like I said, I had really good support system, which helped. Good supervisors, because they know it's what we call critical incidents.
Yeah.
So they know when something, hey, are you good? They know when to ask.
Yeah. And
they work with you enough to know how you answer if you're good or not.
Yeah.
So your guys check on you, your supervisors check on you. So I mean we're a really blessed department with our supervision. They take care of us, they check on us. So overall, there's you deal with a lot, but you've got a good support system behind it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. It definitely sounds like the brotherhood there is kind of what keeps everything.
Yeah.
It keeps a good foundation on everybody there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to check in on your boys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How many officers are there in the Kingsport Police Department?
I mean, well, that's a touchy subject right now, so I want to pass on that question.
Okay. I didn't know.
It's a touchy subject right now, so I'll.
Okay.
We are down a lot.
Okay.
We're down like 20 officers, I think.
Yeah.
You can apply at kingsportcity.org, Kingsport Police Department. There's my spiel.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So no, we're down a lot right now.
Yeah.
I won't go into too much detail about it, but I mean it sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks because mean you've got guys who are just mentally and physically exhausted.
Yeah.
Just because they're having to run call to call.
Yeah.
So, but it's we're figuring it out. We're trying to reload. And we'll eventually get back where we need to be.
Of course, yeah.
So I would say, could you take us through like what a normal shift would be like for you whenever? Because I know you've talked about going from different areas of law enforcement, like being in like the parole area of it, and then moving over to like road duty.
Yeah.
So being a road cop, and I guess that's patrol.
Yeah.
12-hour shifts.
Yep.
So take us through like a day of, I guess, being a road cop in your shift.
Yeah. So shift starts at 6:30. I usually try to show up 30 minutes early in case there's calls.
Yeah.
Usually on day shift at 6 a.m., you don't have a lot of calls. 6 p.m. on night shift, prime time.
Yeah.
So, guys coming in at 6 o'clock, it allows us to pick up calls so day shift can basically not have to answer a late call and then have to stay over and everything. So with me trying to get there at 6, I'd wake up at 3:30, try to be at the gym by 4, work out for an hour, and then from 5 to 5:30, I shower, put my uniform on, and then usually gone at the department by 6 o'clock, ready to take calls if needed. And then 6:30, we're ready for service, and then it's usually on day shift. You're usually slow from like 6 to noon, and then everybody starts waking up. Everybody starts waking up, and then and then about 12 to 6, man, it's balls to the wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So that's hilarious that everybody starts waking up at noon.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell between 12 and 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody starts waking up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
The everybody that you're probably referring to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can see them on season 1 through 10 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah. That's fine. I don't like to point anybody out.
Of course.
Everybody,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess with being on patrol like that, you guys have sectors, right? Is that how y'all do it? Or zones?
Zones, yeah.
Zones of the areas that you guys patrol?
Yeah.
Have you ever been involved in a car chase?
Pass.
Damn it.
Ooh.
I wanted to know.
Yeah, I know, that's exciting.
That would be an exciting one. Fair enough. I know there's a lot of questions that we had that are just like legal issues.
Yeah.
And, that we can't really ask, but I guess if you want to hit them with another one, you can go ahead.
Well, I have something for you.
Okay.
That I'd like for you to check out. This happened on Tuesday morning. This is what it is, everybody. I'll let you look at what I got. Would you have given me a ticket for that?
So you actually got given a huge break because not only did you get pulled over for speeding, you weren't wearing your seatbelt either.
That's correct.
So me personally, I probably would have charged you with one and gave you a break on the other.
Okay. Well, that's the officer that pulled me over. He asked me, because I was coming down Center Street. He asked me, why did I pull you over? He asked me, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, yes, sir, I do believe so. And he said, why is that? And I said, because I'm not wearing my seatbelt. And he's like, no, that's actually not why, but I appreciate your honesty. He was like, it's actually, you've been going 16 over. You went 46 and a 30. And so because I told him, I came true to that.
Because of your honesty.
Yeah. So he let me off, so I got a warning for like a double violation there.
Oddly enough, this happens the week of us having a cop on the podcast.
I know, dude. I know. I thought that was awesome.
You sent that to me, and I was just like, Bailey. I was like, 16 over, I get. Mm-hmm. Like, either you're running late to work or, something, you're just not paying attention.
Yeah.
Your seatbelt.
Yeah, I know, dude. Well, I was on Center Street. I live, like, less than a minute away from Center Street.
I know.
So I pulled on there, and I was just on my way to work. Wasn't even thinking about it, but I came true told him. Yeah. I should have just put my seatbelt on before he pulled me over, but I didn't know if that was the case.
That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. That is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, but my driving history or my records or whatever are clear. He was like, do you have anything in the past couple of years? And I was like, no, sir. He checked it. He's like, you're clear. And then I had my seatbelt on when he came back to the car, and he was like, I see that you're obeying the law. Because he saw that my seatbelt was on. He was like, just slow down, and then he let me go.
Learned his lesson.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Don't let it happen. I'm just kidding.
I won't. I've been wearing, first thing I do before I start the car is put my seatbelt on now.
Are you more apt to give somebody a break if they're honest with you from the jump? Depending on the situation.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the situation. But I mean, my whole thing, anytime, whether it be traffic stop, dealing with somebody on the road, any call that I go to, honesty. This is cheesy, but honesty is the best policy with me. Just because, I mean, if you're going to sit and make me work and have to gain this information that I got to get, you're making it harder on yourself. Just because at that point, you've mentally exhausted me to have to do everything that I can just to get you to just tell me the truth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying you won't catch a break regardless, but just, I mean, being truthful straight up, it basically takes a 45-minute call to like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, we can handle it like that.
Yeah.
So, it depends.
No, I would say catching a break doesn't necessarily mean you just let the person off, but more so is like you're gonna maybe not stick it to them as hard.
Right. Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
in Bailey's situation, you know, I pulled you over because of my seatbelt. No, it's because you were speeding. But thank you for being honest.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to charge. Here's a verbal warning for your seatbelt. Here's the ticket for speeding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So instead of if you were to get charged with the city stuff, you know that we'll say each charge is $100.
Yeah.
So you'd have to pay $200.
Yeah.
But,
gosh.
If you were honest with me and I said, well, I'm not going to charge you for the seatbelt, put it on now, blah blah blah. It's only $100. You know what I mean? So I mean it's honesty is always the best policy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Our parents didn't lie.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I've always found that. Luckily, I have never got a ticket. I've been caught doing 26 over by a state trooper, and he let me off.
Wow.
Don't ask me why.
State trooper let you off?
I was doing 76 on John B. Wasn't paying attention. I don't know why I was going 76, but I was, and I passed him because I wasn't paying attention. He let me off. But it was probably the most intimidating couple sentences he said to me. I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah. Dude, I got driving school because of that.
Really?
In a Fastenal truck. I was speeding on John B. Dennis, pulled over by a state trooper. He did give me a ticket, and I was only going 22 over. And I got driving school because of that, because of this was when I was 21, so almost 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, most every other time it's either been like 10 over-ish, something like that, like on Center Street or something. But that one I was like, oh yeah, buddy, I'm getting a ticket.
Toast.
Yeah.
Toast.
And then he came back, man. He came back and he just sat. This right here is warning. He sat it right on me. And he goes, I remember names and I remember faces and I remember vehicles. Don't ever let me catch you doing this again.
Wow. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I pulled out of there with my blinker real slow.
Yeah.
Took me 45 minutes to get home.
Yeah.
I was running 44 on John B after that.
That's awesome.
Well, so you kind of touched on it earlier. What was the academy like? Did you find it very, very difficult?
So my buddy that I went through with, he said after the first day he thought that I'd lost my puppy dog, just because, dude, that first day sucked. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just because they try to like mentally and physically drain you to see if you're mentally tough, physically tough for this job. And like I was like, dude, if this is what it's gonna be for 12 weeks, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah. Wow.
But it ended up being fine. It lightened up after a while, but I mean, that first little bit, I mean, they push you pretty hard because they want you. I mean, they want you to be sure that you're mentally and physically tough to endure what it all entails.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I feel like that's a good thing.
Oh, and it was.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my whole thing was like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I've kind of succeeded at every job I've been at. But Megan explained it to me in a really good way, of like, all these other jobs that you've worked, they've just been jobs. She said, this is a career.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, you're in a career now. She said, so don't expect things to come easy like they have before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not saying you haven't worked for what you've earned before, but she said, you've got to work harder now. She said, don't expect these things to come easy like they have before. And so that really kind of flipped a switch for me. It's like, okay, I do want to do this. And, we got through the academy and here we are.
Yeah, that's a good woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
She's great.
That's a good woman.
I'm married way out of my league. Go ahead and throw that out there. Way out of my league.
That's a good woman. You definitely need your partner to be that type of person.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you need a foot in the ass.
No, she don't beat around the bush.
Yeah.
She does not sugarcoat anything.
That's good.
Which I appreciate, because I don't either.
Exactly.
But it's, sometimes it's like, well, you can sugarcoat a little bit with me.
Yeah.
Be sweet, honey.
Yeah, it's me. Be nice to me. No, she's great. She's nice to me all the time.
So I do have one question, and you can definitely pass on it if you want to. But we kind of touched on it earlier with the political climate with police officers and everything right now. How do you find the motivation to continue to do your job and do your job to the best of your ability when you see the stuff that you do in the media with, protests against police brutality and this defund the police type talk? How do you find the motivation to get up and still go do your job when, and it might not be in this area that you feel that pressure, but you do see that in the media, and I'm sure from time to time you do get that asshole that, says some smart mouth stuff to you that he just saw on Twitter, do you, or I guess how do you find the motivation to keep doing your job to the best of your ability?
We are blessed in Kingsport. We don't have to deal with that. Okay. Kingsport, they really support the police here, so that's awesome. Mm-hmm. That helps tremendously. Yeah. Having a city, even our city officials, they back us up. So we are very, very blessed department when it comes to, not having to deal with the political side of it. But as far as like motivation, I mean, it's a fun job, man. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. Like we talked about before, I mean, there's really crappy stuff that you got to see and you got to do, but on the flip side of it, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I get paid to be nosy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a true point.
Yeah, I get paid to be nosy, and it's the people's aspect of it too, the interactions that you have with people. Some of the stories I can tell you from interactions I've had with people. Not appropriate for the podcast, but I mean, just some of the stuff that's been said to me. I'm like, I'll horse laugh. Like some of the guys that we've arrested 5 or 6 times. The next time you deal with them, they're just like, you're not going to arrest them. They're just like, thank you. I know you've arrested me 5 or 6 times, but you've always been good to me. So thank you. You know what I mean? Wow. So it's just one of those things. It's, even though we're going balls to the wall, I mean, you might not feel like it, but in some stance you are making a difference, whether it be changing people's opinions of the police or, getting someone out of a crappy situation because you had to arrest, their significant other, and then that might start that snowball effect of, okay, they're finally out of the house. It gives me a chance to pack and get out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, like I said, you just go so much, you might not feel like you're making a difference, but in the eyes of other people on the outside or the person that you're actually helping in that moment, you might be changing their whole life and their whole outlook on everything.
Yeah. And I think what you said in the beginning of that is a testament to a lot of people nowadays like to place blame elsewhere and to find other people to blame for their problems that they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Honestly, going out and showing support and, appreciating an officer, seeing an officer is just saying thank you or just striking up a casual conversation with them, being a human with them, and supporting that and not necessarily like coming at them, protesting them, defunding them. Like, I don't think that solves anything.
No.
I think all that really does is cause more division and more problems. Because if somebody's an asshole to you, how likely are you to want to help them?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. How likely are you to empathize with that person?
Yeah.
You're not likely.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to your character. It's just because that person was an asshole to you, and you have that in your heart now.
Yeah.
So I do think a lot of those problems, I think the answer to that problem is more appreciation, more support, more funding for police departments to get those problems fixed.
Yeah.
Because there's a few bad apples, just like there is in every walk of life.
Yeah.
Those don't need to be there, but at the same time, I'd say like 98, 99% of our cops are good, hardworking men and women that are actually putting their life on the line for us every single day so we can enjoy the safety of our towns.
Yeah.
And that a lot of times that goes unthanked.
Yeah.
I think so. And it's definitely a thankless job.
No, I mean, like I said, we are a blessed city as far as, having our back. We've got a great group of guys that we work with. So for the most part, like we're where we need to be as far as people and support. which I can appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. Especially the city government.
Yeah.
Supporting you. That's huge.
Very.
That's very huge.
Is the quota a thing?
No.
No. Okay.
Damn it! I really thought it was.
Nope.
Yeah, I did too.
Everybody's
like, that's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're at the end of the month. You got to get your tickets. It's
Yeah.
like, no, you're just being dumb and breaking the law.
Yeah.
No, there's no quota.
It just so happened to be the 30th.
Yeah, I know.
No, there's no quota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's something that you've always heard of, and I was like,
that's an urban legend for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted that.
It's absolutely an urban legend because
Yeah.
the quota is not a real thing. It's
Really?
absolutely fake. Yeah.
Has that ever been a real thing? Maybe in the 90s?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
I could see that in like bigger cities.
Maybe.
There could be in bigger cities. I mean, I've heard of some instances, not necessarily being a quota of tickets you got to write, but I know I've heard of like some places being like you've got to have 20 citizen contacts, whether it be stopping and talking to somebody on the side of the road, traffic stops, doing your business checks, your school checks. I mean, it's not all criminal related.
Yeah.
But those kind of quotas may exist. But as far as tickets go, I've never heard of a ticket quota.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, Kingsport does not have a ticket quota.
Yeah.
We just pull you over and give you a ticket because you're breaking the law.
Exactly. That's great to know, though.
That is great to know.
Really
I've always heard that, and to be honest with you, 100% believed it.
I did too.
Because in my mind, it makes sense, like, financially, because it's like, if you have a quota, okay, you have a set amount that you're forecasting to generate revenue from on tickets or arrests or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I figured, like, yeah, that's definitely real. People got their money.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
It's good to know.
Yeah,
it's very good to know. I guess, do you have any more questions you'd like to
last
ask?
thing. Because this has been a resurgence here recently, is CBD and Delta 8 looked at as marijuana?
Yes.
It is.
So your people who know a lot about it will argue it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's not. But I mean, I have seen both. I've seen CBD and Delta 8, and I have saw marijuana. You can put them side by side and they don't look any different.
Yeah.
Unless you're a professional pot smoker.
You
know what I mean? Unless you like absolutely know everything. But I mean, they absolutely look the same. And until we can send it off and get it tested, we don't know.
Okay.
It smells the same, looks the same.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, to the untrained eye, it is the same.
Yeah.
So until we can get it sent off and get it tested, we don't know.
Yeah. But once it's tested, are the laws different there for?
You get in a gray area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get in a gray area.
I guess that would really depend on how you obtained it, correct? Like if it was in a vehicle half smoked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like because I guess the follow-up question to that is marijuana is illegal in Tennessee.
Yes.
Delta 8 and CBD are not.
Correct.
Up to certain limits.
Right.
Smoking Delta 8 while driving is still considered a DUI, correct?
Any kind of impairment.
Any kind of impairment.
Yeah, any kind of impairment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Just because, like you were saying, you're not sober.
Right.
And you're behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would assume so.
Yeah, I mean, impairment's impairment. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, I mean, it's... Because it's still... From what I have read and can understand about it, it still alters kind of the same way as marijuana does anyways. Alters the mindset, your motor skills, and everything. It still alters all of that, so you're still in a impaired state of mind. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm good on the questions that I have.
I think I'm good too.
You too. But yeah, I guess now it's time to go deep. All right. So since you're the guest, we're gonna let you pick it. Always gonna mix it up.
Yeah. He's gonna pick a
He's
good
going deep in there.
He's going deep.
Here you go. All right, for you fine gentlemen. Was there a more advanced civilization before humanity?
Holy shit!
Gosh, dude.
I don't know. Do you really like
humanization?
Humanization.
No,
human civilization.
Same thing.
Before
pretty much.
A more advanced civilization before humanity.
Before humanity.
Oh my gosh.
I think when I wrote that question, it was before the humanity that we know and have history of.
Okay.
So kind of like the Graham Hancock theory of like who built the pyramids, really.
So I'll start you off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what did you just say?
Like the Graham Hancock theories of like who really built the pyramids.
Yeah, so that's where I was about to go. So that's always been my thing. How did man alone lift blocks the size of a house?
Yeah.
And make them perfectly stacked, perfectly even, all the way up to a point. You know,
perfectly cut.
Yeah.
That's a huge surface area to cut.
Yes, but as of 2 weeks ago, I think we know why. Aliens.
Oh.
My JD's huge on that. Like they line up. There's certain times of the year where the three pyramids line up with like the way that the solar system, whatever's going on. Like
the three stars of Orion's belt.
So
they were built in that. They were built to that.
That's insane to me.
Which is crazy that they had the astrology and understanding of that to even be able to do something like that. But what's even crazier than that is I'm pretty sure, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, there are three pyramids: the middle pyramid of Giza, the pyramid in South America, and a pyramid in Indonesia. That if you look at them on a world map,
it's a triangle.
No, it's not necessarily a triangle, but it lines up to the same orientation of Orion's belt, just like the Giza pyramids do.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really, really weird. Plus, not only that, what you're talking about, like this, how perfect the stones were cut, how they were laid out perfectly, perfect angles. They drug those stones from a quarry that was miles away, and they drug them all the way there to build.
No water bottles. You know what I mean? No vehicles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nothing.
You see pictures in history books and they're like have like a slab with like giant rocks that are round underneath it with a rope on them.
Yeah.
There's no way that's not how they got them up there.
No way.
Exactly.
Absolutely not. But I think to answer this question right off, absolutely.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it though. So think about your Stephen Hawking's, your Bill Gates, like your geniuses of today. You're going to have geniuses that lived in that time period too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you've got your scientists who can build atomic bombs to the T. So back then you're going to have guys or girls who understand.
Probably just guys. The way our history has... I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the way our history has been in the past.
It's history, not her story.
Jesus.
Dude, I had to go for that.
Megan makes it this far out of trouble.
That's not my personal opinion, but you've totally heard that mansplaining.
I know.
That is not a personal reflection of myself. But it was low-hanging fruit.
But the he or she geniuses of that generation.
Oh, no, you're 100% right. Back then, it absolutely would have been man. With a woman sitting in the corner going, he's an idiot.
Yes.
But it's whatever. But think about it. There had to be guys back then who, understood the measurements and the cutting to a T.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I would say it's just weird, though, because, technology then was, like you said, it's a flat rock that they used to shape stuff.
Yeah.
Or it had spears.
Yeah.
That and the technology itself is the amount of time that it would take in them to do it.
Exactly.
Cannot line up.
No.
It would take them longer to do that than it would the entire life of the civilization itself.
Think of house development now.
Yeah.
For a company to put together a house now, we'll say max 3 months to build a whole house, and that's probably pushing it. A pyramid, that one of those blocks is probably about the size of a house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And which we don't know how long it took them to put it together.
Yeah.
But that's still, that's still so insane to me that guys our size were pushing these blocks for, like you said, miles because you couldn't build it. It's in the freaking desert.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to build it right next to water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's in the middle of the desert, like way out in Giza.
But what's wild though is there's probably at one point in time there was probably a water system in that pyramid.
Yeah, probably. I mean the aqueducts. I'm pretty sure the Egyptians were the first to do aqueducts.
That sounds right.
If not, it was the Romans, and that was shortly after them. But yeah, I mean, the technology and not only the pyramids, but like, aren't there rooms inside the pyramids? Like a whole elaborate system of rooms, the king's tomb, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Not only do you have to balance it and make it perfect on the outside, you have to know structural engineering to keep everything from caving in on the inside.
To allow tunnels to go through like a maze in there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm telling you, Graham Hancock is on another level when he's talking about this stuff. And it is insane, the evidence that he has. And how like mainstream archaeology and historians will just get out of our face. You're a conspiracy theorist. It's like, well, no, he's got a point.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
He definitely has a point. There's something that Graham Hancock talks about where it was like the Great Reset, and it said, I think he says like every like 12,000 years or something like that, the Earth passes through a certain asteroid belt, and we're at a higher probability of getting hit with an asteroid. And every time it happens and we get hit by an asteroid, we just reset. Part of us, you know, it kills 90% of life on the planet, but somehow or another, the little pocket of humanity survives and we have to restart from being savages. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's a crazy theory, but...
It definitely is not... I mean, it's not...
It's a theory.
It's a theory.
It is a theory, that is true. It is a theory. But he does have a lot of evidence to back that up. But he also has evidence to back up the Atlantis theory. And that was supposed to be the advanced civilization before our humanity.
Man,
it can honestly go back to the alien theory as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's true too.
Because, I mean, if they are real, you know, big if. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, did they have any part in helping build these structures?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because just outside of the pyramids and stuff, I mean, go just a little bit further in time, like the Roman Colosseum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, they still, granted then they had like wagons and stuff, which they probably, I don't know, was the wheel invented by the time the pyramids were built?
I would think so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure that they still had wagons, but there ain't going to be a wagon strong enough to hold a pyramid block, I would say.
Absolutely not.
The only thing I can think of is that they brought the mud and just shaped them on top of each other as they went.
Mm.
Dude, that would take so long.
That would take so long, yeah.
That would take so long.
But it being that hot, how does it not dry up before?
Yeah.
You would have to.
Point, yeah.
So, I mean, you would honestly have to have a water source on hand.
Yeah.
A consistent water source on hand.
Does the Nile run through Giza?
I don't know.
I could be saying all this and it 100% be false.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's kind of how we are on this podcast. I go back and watch it sometimes and I'm like, you're talking out your ass.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the crazy thing on top of that too. So when we went and visited Seattle, the city of Seattle was built in the early 1900s. It's that new.
Yeah.
I thought Seattle was like one of these cities that was, you know, when the United States
been here forever,
like New York,
and it just was one of those cities that was created like very like with all the other cities, New York and everything.
Yeah.
But no, when we did a ghost tour, and they were going over it, and they were like, "This was built like the 1930s."
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, they started on the East Coast with their 13 original colonies, and then moved over. So I guess that would make sense that Seattle was that young, but maybe not that young. I would feel like it should be like, I don't know, mid 1800s.
Well, I mean, just think about it. You've got a great grandparent that was born in like 1930.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
True,
if they were born in Seattle, they were there while the city was being built.
Yeah.
And like their infrastructure was wild because they have like Seattle actually had a bunch of deaths because they had tunnels that ran with openings. So like you had a tunnel, but it wasn't an enclosed tunnel. So I guess it was more of a ravine. You had ravines that ran through the whole city, and you had shops underground, and then so you had like an upstairs and a downstairs. And like your upstairs was a shop and your downstairs was a shop, but your downstairs shops were underground.
Wow.
So you had ladders that would go up to so you had sidewalks, gully. Yeah.
Wow.
It was wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had a ton of deaths because people wouldn't be paying attention and would just like walk right into the hole and basically die.
No kidding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And now where they've got everything closed in, you can walk down the sidewalks, and if you see a slab of concrete that has like pink glass, that was their natural light that lit up the tunnels on the sidewalk.
Huh.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that either.
Yeah.
And then their toilets back then were chutes that went into the ocean.
Oh,
that's great.
But they didn't think about the what's it called when the ocean comes up? The tide. They didn't think about the tide. So all their crap went right back into the city.
Oh my God! Dude.
So they had to. I think that's when they started to really consider plumbing.
Yeah,
and a pipe system. Yeah.
Yeah, the ancient Romans figured that one out.
Yeah.
Here we are building a city, just throwing our shit in the ocean.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna come back.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious, dude.
But what do you think? Do you think there was a...
Okay, so my mind wants to go in two separate ways. I watched a video about aliens today. But then it's like, okay, if I look at it from like a biblical standpoint, then I'm like, okay, do I just need to stop this thought here? And it's like this, you know what I mean? Like with, I feel like what the Bible would say would be like, no, probably not. You know what I mean? It was Adam and Eve, and then from there until Christ, and now here we are, 2023 AD. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but if you think about it, and the perspective, seriously though, the question is like, how did like something like the pyramids get built? Mm-hmm. How, you know, like I don't know. It's a loaded question. So I don't know how I feel, honestly. I don't know how to properly answer that question. You know what I mean?
Sweet, good talk. Anyways.
No, but I feel you though. It's like,
you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and I know where you're coming from, being like, am I playing with fire by saying yes? You know what I mean? It's like,
and I don't look at it from. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I don't look at it as playing with fire. We don't technically have that much proof, so it's hard to answer that question. I don't know how to answer that question. I think that's what we've been trying to figure out this whole freaking time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I just will always go back to even back then with the little technology that they have, there were still people 10 times smarter than us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That knew how to use what technology they had.
So perfectly. Am I the only one on the aisle that there was?
I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel.
And more advanced civilization?
More advanced.
I'm going to say no because outside of like your rock buildings and huts, like they didn't have what we have now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even now, like I think we're not us in general, but like, you know, our scientists and stuff are way smarter now than what they were back then.
Yeah, just with the advancements and everything.
I just think that don't know the word I'm trying to look for, just because they had to be more resourceful back then with what they had.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I'm leaning more on the side of yes, because, and it's hard too, because I do believe in Christianity. I'm a Christian, but I also like to play around with these ideas.
I get it.
But I find the need to feel like Graham Hancock and like his whole theory is correct.
Yeah.
Because of the evidence that he has, and it's like, before the Great Reset, if the Earth was hit by a meteor, there was some sort of cataclysmic event that ended that part of human story, was that civilization before that happened more advanced than us? Plus, like, the whole, like, Atlantis theory and all the technology they were said to have, it's just like, yeah, I kind of lean on that side of it. I'm like, that kind of sounds right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then I do have a little bit of guilt on it, too, because I'm like, well, the Bible don't talk about it.
Yeah, well, see,
you know? I feel bad, but...
If the question is, was there a more advanced civilization before humanity? I feel like if it was more advanced, then it's like, would they not have thought to, like, give some sort of relic or artifact or signal to be like, we were here.
Fair
and
point.
maybe that's the pyramids. You know what I mean? Maybe that's sort of...
Fair point.
So that's why it's just a constant dilemma to where it's like, okay, no, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know how to answer that. But, like, in the freaking 80s, we sent a gold record into space to communicate with aliens. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Like, where we put music on there, we put 50 different languages of saying hello and, like, how to play the record into space. You know what I mean? Trying to communicate with everything.
It also had the story of humanity that scientists believe with, like, evolution and everything. It shows the evolutionary process to where we're at now.
Yeah.
And sending it out. But yeah, I mean, maybe the pyramids are a... Hey, we were here, and then we're all sitting here like, them Egyptians.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think that question's... It's for people way smarter than we are.
Yeah.
To answer that question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah.
I am a perfect example of C's and D's get degrees.
Yeah. I feel you. But yeah.
I just feel like if they were more advanced, out of everything that we have dug up, you would find something.
Exactly. I feel the same way.
Yeah. Or we don't have to dig it up and it's sitting right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the paradox right there.
It is. It really is.
Okay, so the answer to that question is we don't fucking know.
We have no idea.
All right, well, that was our Go Deep segment. I guess you guys cool with getting over into the starting five?
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right, it's time for starting five. All right, so this week our starting five is going to be fast food chains. Last week we had to go off because I forgot to post the poll. But that poll that I posted before that week, the winner was fast food chains. So we're going to do our starting five fast food chains. We all know the order, 5 to 1. And you can have an honorable mention if you want to.
Yeah.
But since you're the guest, you ready to go?
So am I starting with number 5?
Yes.
Yep.
To 1. Yep.
5, we always say is like, it's your top 5, with 5 being your least favorite, 1 being your favorite.
Yeah.
My least favorite of fast food, I will go with Sonic.
Oh,
Okay.
Sonic's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sonic's very good.
I like Sonic, but on my list, it's my least favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Sonic. Yeah.
Okay, Sonic's a good one, man. You can get a lot of different like combinations in your ice cream and your slushies too.
Happy hour, baby.
Happy hour,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Sonic's a good one.
You can also get dinner there if you want to as well.
Yeah, and breakfast for dinner.
Hey.
Yep. That's right, dude. That's right. All right, Sonic's a good one.
Number 4.
Oh my! Oh, so I'm doing my whole list.
Sorry,
now.
we should
Okay.
explain
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
should
go
have,
through
but
it
it's
all,
fine.
guys.
Whatever. Number 4. I am going to go Taco Bell.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Taco
Yeah.
Bell's a hitter.
Respect it. Oh, yeah.
Number 3 for me, probably gonna be McDonald's.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Old faithful right there.
Yeah, it really is.
And my number 2 and my number 1s are hard.
Yeah.
They're interchangeable, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like we talked about before.
Yeah.
I'll do my honorable mention last because I'm gonna stay true to the nation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my number 2 gonna be Panda.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
You like
number 2,
Panda Express?
dude, I can freaking kill some Panda.
All right.
Yeah, and number 1 obviously Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Dude.
And then I'll do my honorable mention as Pals.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a regional thing. We have all regional people watching, but if there's not, get down to Northeast Tennessee and get you some Pals.
Get you some Frenchy fries, my guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cheddar rounds.
That's a good starting 5.
Oh yeah, that's a great starting 5.
Yeah, that Panda, I'm telling you, man, it depends on my mood.
Panda is one I'm not too big a fan of Panda, but I could definitely see where you're coming from because it's like one of the only fast food Chinese options.
So there's
That's a change.
Megan mentioned she called it something. Apparently, there's another word for fancier fast food restaurants.
Oh, and is it kind of like the Zaxby's or Five Guys?
Yeah, so like fast food that you can get fast and quick to have drive-thrus, but also ones that you can go in and actually sit down and be.
Okay, so
I know
like,
what you're talking about.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a Chipotle.
Yeah.
So you still got your drive-thrus, but it's a fancy fast food.
Yeah.
She called it. I cannot remember what she called it though.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I've heard it in a different podcast of a guy that goes and tastes like places like Shake Shack.
Yeah.
And Five Guys.
Yeah.
And rates those burgers, but there is a name for those that I don't know either. But
Sure, you want to go?
sure, yeah. Let me. Okay, number 5. It's kind of similar to yours, but my number 5 is Dairy Queen. Oh man, I don't eat there for dinner, but Dairy Queen has a great breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
They have a fantastic breakfast, and then after dinner. Dude, blizzards?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I got a blizzard last night. Oh yeah, it's frozen.
Show me how thick that thing is.
Yes, exactly, dude.
I want my milkshake thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. You
That's
know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Dairy Queen. Number 5. I love Dairy Queen for the ice cream and breakfast. Number 4. I'm gonna put Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
Burger King. I live 30 seconds away from Burger King. There, if you order through the app, you can get their food for so freaking cheap. Like if you order through the app, you can get free fries every single time, no matter what you order. So I mean, if I'm in a time crunch or if you know what I mean, I'll just hit up the app, order a rodeo burger for $1 and then get a free fry, and there's my meal.
That's stupid cheap.
It's so cheap. So Burger King's on there just because of how often I use it.
I always love the smell of Burger King.
I do too.
Oh yeah.
I don't like their food.
Yeah,
I've never been a
understand.
fan of their food.
Yeah, I mean it's not the best. It's for sure not, but it is.
But you definitely you got McDonald's on yours, so I feel like you either a McDonald's or a Burger King.
Yeah, well that's true too.
You know?
Yeah.
So I've got a friend that he would actually pick Burger King over like Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
He's his own animal. Shout out Jake Jones. But
I know Jake Jones.
You know Jake?
Yeah, bro, he's a
he
coach
coached.
for
Yeah,
DB,
he coached
yeah.
for, yeah.
Wow.
So Jake's a big Burger King guy.
Really?
I've never understood it. I always call him out for it, but it's fine.
Over Chick-fil-A is wild, Coach Jones.
That is wild. Dang, that is crazy. Number 4, Burger King. Number 3 is mainly just for breakfast. Number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Hardee's.
Shoot.
I love just biscuit and gravy from Hardee's. That's a hangover cure, just the best hangover cure. And they have some good chicken nuggets too, and a great chicken biscuit. Like a chicken biscuit that could closely, honestly, compare to Chick-fil-A. Depending on who you are. Love Hardee's. Number 2, I'm not as good of a guy as you. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna go local. Number 2, I'm gonna put Pals because dude, Pals is just amazing. You know what I mean?
If you're from this area, it's in your top 5.
Exactly. Pal Barger has had the opportunity to go nationwide several times, but his thing was I want to be able to drive to every single Pal's in a day. You know what I mean? So the furthest one out is like Morristown, I think. So number 2, Pal's. I mean, it's got a special place.
Rest in peace, Mr. Barger.
Yeah. No. R.I.P. Number 1. Same as you. Number 1, Chick-fil-A, dude. Chick-fil-A has everything. Yeah. They got the spicy chicken biscuit now. It's so good.
Yes, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yes, them bringing that to their menu was a godsend.
Oh, it was amazing.
I was only able to find it around Knoxville. Knoxville was the closest I could find it.
No way.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, last year, me and Hannah spent a lot of time in Knoxville, and we would always get Chick-fil-A on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
The Chick-fil-A right in West Hills always had the spicy chicken biscuit.
Wow. Well, I've been able to order at the one in Kingsport now, but before that, whenever we went to Denver and went to the Chick-fil-A in Knoxville, was the first time I had a spicy chicken biscuit.
Yep.
Y'all tried the new pimento cheese chicken sandwich?
I heard about that.
I've not tried. I've heard it's.
I haven't
fire, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Really?
So we went to the Tennessee game this weekend in Nashville, and when we got off, we both got off around like noon to drive down there. We stopped at Chick-fil-A and got those before we left.
Yeah.
Dude, so good.
They put honey on it too, don't they?
Pimento cheese, jalapenos, and honey. And you can get it as a spicy chicken sandwich too.
Wow.
So it's got some kicks.
I'm going to go back to Pals real quick. I learned this, and y'all may have already known this. Did you know you could get the Frenchie fry salt on your burger?
No.
Son.
You can ask. I've still not tried it, but a bunch of guys that I work with, they go through, they'll say, yeah, can I get a big pile with cheese and add the fry salt to it?
Wow.
And apparently it, next level.
Oh, I
Wow.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
Ooh, did you know that if you hold on to 10 drink trays from Pals and take it through Pals, they'll give you a free tea?
I did not know
If you
that.
keep your drink trays and bring back 10 of them.
How'd you find that out?
Of a dude that I worked with, and we kept them. Because usually we're ordering for several people, so when they hand us a drink tray, they'll hand us 2.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it's sturdy. Hold on, and then you can get a free sweet tea. Or unsweet tea, whatever. But hold on to your drink tray. Oh, you got to keep drink trays
It's
somewhere.
like getting your free burger card punched.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
It's essentially the same
Yeah.
thing. So, but,
Drink trays.
yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of drink trays, did you know that cup holders are designed for you? If you've got 2 drinks, a cup holder in your car, you can put your drinks on one side, and the cup holder or the
Drink tray.
the drink tray will sit down into the cup holder, so you don't have to worry about them spilling.
Wow.
So the 2 empty ones sit in your cup holder and hold the other 2 that are out.
No way.
I saw a TikTok on that.
Yeah.
I did not know
I did
that.
hear about that.
Life hacks.
Yeah.
Life hacks, man.
Yeah, that's
TikTok
crazy.
University.
Yeah,
that's right.
Seriously.
Yeah, that was a good starting 5. I liked yours.
Thanks, sir.
Chick-fil-A is a good one.
I did.
You can't beat it.
You can't.
Okay,
Basic
so
white girl over here.
Yeah, I know.
well, I might beat it. My honorable mention is gonna go to Zaxby's.
That's a great one, dude.
I fucking love
Kick a
Zaxby's.
chicken sandwich, baby.
That's what I get
Yeah,
too.
so good.
Oh
That,
my
or
gosh.
if you're feeling like a little piggy, go get you a winging things and go large. You get 5 chicken tenders and you get like 8 wings, a whole bunch of fries and 2 toasts.
Wow.
Son.
That's what 2019 Tucker would have gotten.
100%.
Yeah.
100%, bro. That was like peak lineman Tucker in
Yeah.
high school.
Oh yeah.
So my honorable mention is going to go to Zaxby's. My number 5 is Bojangles.
Oh, dude, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
I almost went Bojangles, but dang it.
Bojangles,
That is a
man.
good
Yeah.
one.
And the best part about Bojangles too is you get breakfast all day.
Yeah,
You can run through
Yeah,
at
them
8
freaking
p.m.
Bowberry biscuits.
Oh,
you get your
man.
Bowberry biscuit, you get your Cajun filet biscuit.
Exactly.
The Bow Rounds,
Oh, dude.
fucking next level hash browns.
You got that right.
So my number 5 is Bojangles. My number 4. I put 2 on here because one is a little bit more local than the other one, but either one will suffice.
Yeah.
It's Chipotle or Barb's.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can fuck up a
Dang.
Chipotle bowl or a Barb's bowl. I love both of those. That like Tex-Mex style, I love that a lot. My number 3 is Jersey Mike's.
Jersey
Yeah,
Mike's.
that's
You're
a
calling
good
that fast food?
Yeah, I'm calling it fast food.
Okay.
If not, I
dude,
can switch it up.
Jersey
but-
Mike's might be my number 1 if we're calling that fast food, dude.
Okay, well, if
Yeah,
we're
Texas Roadhouse. That's mine.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I consider it fast food because like I walk into the Jersey Mike's across the street and I'm gone in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if we're not going there,
You know what I mean?
If we're
That's
not
because
going
it's
there.
invisible in a rundown shopping mall.
I know.
It's true.
Okay, so we'll go. I'll just go Pals for that one then.
No, it's fine. This is your show. Do what you want.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Jersey Mike's or Pals. Fuck it. Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
My number 2 is Chick-fil-A.
Oh, man.
Oh, a number 2.
It's a number
Yeah.
2. Chick-fil-A is just fire. I mean, outright, you can't go wrong with anything on their menu.
You can do it 1 through 5. Mm-hmm. Chick-fil-A fits anywhere on your list.
Exactly. 100%. Chick-fil-A is so fire. And that new pimento cheese sandwich, dude, if you haven't got it, go check it out. Shameless plug. That is so good. And the spicy chicken biscuits. And my number 1, it might be controversial, but it's Taco Bell.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, I will take Taco Bell over Chick-fil-A any day.
No way.
Just because the amount of food I can get and the versatility you can get at a Taco Bell, dude. Taco Bell is so fire.
But I mean, so you get a spicy chicken sandwich combo from Chick-fil-A. You're at about $9.
Yeah.
$9 worth of Taco Bell if you do it right.
If you do it right.
You got a handle bag.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're walking out with a handle bag.
Yeah. It's hard to fit through your window in the drive-thru.
Yeah, man.
I'm telling you, dude. And Taco Bell is just fire. All the sauce options, Diablo sauce.
Oh yeah.
Shoot,
dude.
Taco Bell is just unmatched to me. And even when I eat it, I really don't care about what it does to me the next day. Every bite was worth it.
You're paying for it for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's a fact. In the moment, dude, I can throw down burrito after burrito after burrito.
Yeah. Especially after you all went out to the bar or something, you're coming back, you're kicking it on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
After driving through Taco Bell, and you come back and you just black out for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, dude.
Devour that food.
No kidding, dude. Cheesy roll up, add beef.
Yeah.
Son, I get 3 of those.
Yeah, and guess what? That's $3.
Exactly. Oh, my gosh.
You get 9 of them things for the same thing that you're going to get with a chicken sandwich and some fries.
Yeah, that's so true.
So, yeah, my number 1's going to be Taco Bell.
I respect that, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't go wrong with it. But.
Yeah.
I mean, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, they are kind of interchangeable.
That's why I am with Panda.
But, yeah.
Me and Panda, I can put down some Panda.
For sure.
I love Japanese food.
Yeah, I do too.
So when you throw, I can get it in 20 seconds going through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
You like Motos?
Do like Motos.
I love Motos.
Motos got weird hours.
How long Motos takes. Though.
I know. And so they do have weird hours. They'll close midday. Mm-hmm. The one on Stone Drive does. Yeah. They close at like 3:30 and open again at like 5:30. Mm-hmm. It's so strange.
And then they're like completely closed on like Mondays or Tuesdays.
Yeah,
or something like that.
I think it's Tuesdays.
Yeah, and it's like, why?
Yeah, I know. I know exactly.
Like close on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Truck day.
Huh?
Yeah. Truck day.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe.
Truck day.
But like ever since COVID, because they used to be like open every day of the week. I mean, limited hours on Sunday, obviously, but like open every day of the week. And then after COVID, their hours got real weird. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and Hannah would try to go there on a Tuesday, and we pulled up, and we're just like, I was like looking in the window.
Yeah.
Like nobody's at the grill. I was like,
dude, same thing.
Sucks.
Same thing happened to us. Swear.
Yeah. It's like getting excited for Chick-fil-A on Sunday.
Oh, dude.
That's the only time you crave it.
Exactly.
That's the only time where you're like, damn, this sounds so good right now. And then it's like, wait a second.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I feel that completely.
Yeah.
I am surprised nobody put any kind of pizza.
I'm surprised he didn't.
I didn't know it was fast food. I didn't know it was fast food.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, it's fast food if it has a drive-thru.
Pizza Plus.
Yeah, the Little Caesars in Johnson City has a drive-thru.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Dang. Well...
Yeah, you obviously didn't think about this too much.
We need to do a top 5 pizza places. This is what we need to do.
That would be a good one.
And then that's
have y'all had Sim's Pizza in
Gray or like Johnson City?
Yeah, like Gray. Is it Gray?
But it's like right there near Coons Creek
and yeah.
Beside the Food City.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Have you had Sim's?
Mm-hmm. Dude, I love Sim's.
Top and their baked spaghetti. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Dude, so they actually put it in like when you go to a Mexican restaurant and they have like their to-go plates or like the aluminum bowl.
Yes, yeah.
So they put their spaghetti in one of those and then put it in their pizza burner. And
oh man!
Son.
Dang, that sounds fire.
Yeah, you're a big spaghetti guy.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
I'm a big pasta guy.
They have good wings too.
I've never had their wings.
They have really good wings. Oh yeah. Sim's is really good. I'm surprised you knew.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hole in the wall. It's literally a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's it. So you know where the Food City in Gray?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, not the one in Gray, because the one in Gray is different. The Food City in between Boones Creek and Johnson City.
Yeah. It's like there's an Ingles near there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're going down that road, Ingles is on the left, and the Food City will be on the right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's connected into that Food City at the very end on the corner.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's literally a hole in the wall.
It is. It is very good though. Sam showed it to me.
Have you been to Stephen's Pizzeria in Gray?
Yeah.
No.
Same size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stephen's is kind of middle. Like you wouldn't see it if you drive by.
I've never had
it is good.
It's good. I would put Stevens up over Sims.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you had Greg's Pizza in Johnson City? They cut their pizza into like cheese sticks instead of actual pizza slices. Oh man, Greg's is good.
Yeah.
Is it Greg's where you can get them pre-frozen and bring them home?
I did not know if you could do that.
I think you can. I think you can order their pizzas and they'll pre-make them and freeze them, and then you can take them home and put them in the freezer.
Wow.
I think it's Greg's.
That is a move.
Is that Greg's up in front of like TJ Maxx and Target in Johnson City?
Yes. Okay, yeah. Near like right across the street from O'Charlie's. Yeah. That's Greg's. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm like 90% sure you can order pizza from there frozen, and you can bring it home.
Wow.
Damn.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We're giving everybody clout right now.
Yeah.
No free shout outs.
Yeah.
Please sponsor the podcast.
Sponsored by Red Bull.
But yeah, so I guess after starting 5, that's it for the podcast.
Yeah.
That's episode 11 in the books. Dude, we appreciate you coming on.
Yes.
This has been awesome.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
It's been really cool getting into some of these questions that I'm sure everybody's always had, but never really been able to like sit down and ask directly to the source. Yeah. You know, especially. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Is there anything you would like to plug before we leave?
No, I'm good, man. This has been awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime y'all want to have me on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm 12 minutes away.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We're approaching 100 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. We noticed that we have quite a bit more followers on our Instagram than we do subscribers, so please turn that follow into a subscribe. We'd much appreciate it. And that's it. Please leave a comment on this video what you'd like to see in the next starting 5. If you would like to add a question to the Go Deep section, please leave that in the comments. And we can't thank you all enough for being here.
Yes, sir.
That's it for me.
All right, bro.
Dude, it was a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for having us. Well, thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We will see you all in the next video.
All right.
Peace.